day, what are we on? 229? Yeah, I think we're on 229. It's about 1:30 in the morning. I'm getting a really early start. Man, I'll tell you what, some days you just need a reboot, and that's what yesterday was for me. I was out of it for like 90% of the day, and I really feel refreshed now. I woke up about, I don't know, 12 o'clock, ready to go. I got some coffee. I've already started to knock out some projects. The bathroom guy's supposed to be here sometime in the morning. Don't know what time he'll show up, but that's okay. I'll be ready for him. I'm out here shooting some videos. Got a lot of stuff on my list that is slated to get done today. I got to write an article for a magazine that's due. I have to shoot a video for another online magazine, and I'm just about to do that clip here after I do this one. And I'm going to finish up shooting the cigar session, get that delivered, even though they're not ready, just get it off my plate. And I'm going to do a morning ride. Let's see, I've got probably about 6 hours before the sun's up, so I'll wait until that's just breaking so you guys can see the video and it's not black again. Made that mistake once or twice. And I'll be able to test my new music player on the bike. I'll probably have to turn it down since it's the wee hours of the morning, but that's kind of cool there. And yeah, we'll see what else happens during the day. But whew, yesterday was just, I was in a fog. I had a massive headache that wouldn't quit until about 10 o'clock at night. That was just, sometimes I get them and no idea why, but it was brutal. I mean, 4 Excedrins weren't even touching it. Usually a couple cups of coffee will do it. It's more of a caffeine thing, and that's why Excedrin probably works for me. It's the only thing that gets rid of my headaches usually, but man, this one just wouldn't go away. It was like somebody was just squeezing the back of my neck. Even a hot shower didn't do anything. So anyway, we're good to go today. But man, it's like I just completely lost a day yesterday. Pretty much slept through it. We did watch The Great Gatsby yesterday, and I remember when that was in the theaters around here, man, oh my God, mostly the women just went crazy about this movie. I mean, there were parties that were Great Gatsby themed. There were networking meetings, Great Gatsby themed. You know, I'm in the wedding industry, so there's a whole bunch of, there were styled shoots left and right. I mean, just people went crazy about it. I'd never read the book. I never saw the original. I had no idea what it was about. It was an okay movie. The story was decent. I will bet, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the original sometime now, but I will bet the original was a hell of a lot better, and the book was probably a hell of a lot better. But I don't know. The CGI was freaking terrible. Just, I couldn't tell if they were going for realism or over the top like Moulin Rouge, which, by the way, was an awesome movie. But it was just bad. It was painful to watch. Maybe it was better on the big screen, but it was painful to watch on TV. I mean, the second half of it, it was even kind of slow and predictable, and not my cup of tea. But I can see why the women went gaga for it, all the romance crap. It was just so scripted. I mean, it was, they could have done a better job. Like I said, I bet the original's a lot better in that case. But anyway, on with the day. Well, it's about 3:30. I'm getting my stuff done here. You know, I figure I would give this a shot. I'm going to try to flush my hot water tank because it's really getting bad. It's leaving a terrible residue, doing dishes, and I can tell there's sediment in there. I can hear it kind of bubbling a little bit when it's working. Now, the last time I did this, there was so much sediment that doing it this normal way didn't work. This is the flush valve here, and you attach a garden hose to it, and you just open this up just like a hose spigot. Problem is, it's got a mesh filter in here. It's coarse, but it's just to keep this thing in, basically. But there's been so much sediment in it the last couple times that I did it. You can see some of it laying on the ground here. This is all the crap that was inside. Huge chunks of sand and shells. There was so much in here that this fitting itself was preventing the stuff from coming out. So I had to take this completely off, so it's just an open pipe. And then, of course, it just spews out into the garage. And I've been waiting because the garage has been filled with all the construction stuff, and it floods the whole floor. But I figured I'd give this a shot, do it with the hose, and hopefully there isn't so much in it this time that I can flush it normally. We'll see. It's pretty easy to do. Basically, this is a really small unit. Surprisingly, we don't need a bigger one. We can take 2 showers and even do dishes and stuff, and as long as we're using the regular shower, not the one we've been using, we don't run out of hot water, so it's enough for us. This is about half the size. Usually you see these in like apartments, not a house, but you know, this is an older house, it's from the 70s, and this is what it came with. It's still working, so I have no need to replace it. It's got 2 heating elements, and it's funny because I had a house inspector come over and he tried to sell us a new hot water tank saying, oh yeah, for sure one of these isn't working. It's only working on the top and the bottom one's broken. No, it was just full of sediment. So I flushed it and oh, look at that, it works just fine. But anyway, the important thing with these are when you drain and flush this, it's going to completely drain it of water, and you don't want these running in air. Okay, they need to be covered by water if they're on. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this is an electric unit, so I'm going to kill the power to it. And I've got a electric company cutoff box on there. We're on I can't remember if we're on that right now or not, but they had a power plan where it would only be on during certain hours and off during peak hours when you're not typically needing it. But I don't remember if we're signed up for that right now. But anyway, yeah, that's a timer. I can't see in there. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off at my breaker box because I don't have an on-off switch here. So here we have a label. These 2 here are for the water heater. So off it goes. Next step is to shut off the water, and I don't have a dedicated switch at the hot water tank, so we're going to turn it off here at the main, which happens to be in my yard. Okay. I got the hose run outside. If you don't have an outside location, just point it towards a drain. I've got the other end connected to that drain valve. Now we got the electricity off, so we can do whatever we need to do at the tank itself. We've got the water shut off because we don't need the water trying to fill it back up as we're flushing it out. So now what we're going to do is open up this bottom valve. Okay. Make sure it's open all the way. Now, you don't hear water running out because basically it's trying to suck a vacuum right now. We can do one of 2 things. We need to let air inside the top of the tank to let that water start to flow out. Easiest thing to do is open up the pressure relief valve. Now they did a really crappy job when they installed this thing. Number one, that fitting has a tiny little leak on it, and you can see all the oxidation and leakage there. I should have a plumber come in and fix that. Probably do that when I replace this hot water tank, which probably be pretty soon. I don't know how old this is, but won't last forever, that's for sure. Anyway, there's supposed to be a tube attached to this pressure relief valve, and that's supposed to go somewhere. So if this thing ever needed to activate that emergency valve, it's just going to spew water directly at the wall. Now, luckily, that only happens under bad circumstances, but still, this is not the correct way to install a hot water tank for sure. So we can either open this up, which will let air in, or you can just open any hot water faucet in the house. I'm going to go ahead and just flip this up. Actually, yeah, I think this would, no, it wouldn't stay up. This one is one you have to hold up. So I'm going to come over to my laundry tub and just open up the hot water side. And now we'll see if we can hear anything flowing. Can't say I do, which means it's probably plugged up. It's probably the same situation as before. Let's see if we have anything coming out. Nope. Nothing. So that probably means, once again, there's so much sediment in there that it is not letting it pass through this valve. I have a little bit of leakage Really, that's about it. I don't hear anything. I don't feel anything. So that's probably all packed in there. I'd really like to get this flowing, but I know I'm going to have to take this off to do so and shove a long screwdriver in there to loosen the stuff up, and that is just going to come pouring out. And do I want to do that right now? You know what, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to put down the phone, and I'm just going to quickly try to dislodge it and then put this back into place, because I'd really like to get this done. I don't want to wait another week or so to get this bathroom done and the garage cleaned out and everything. So let me put down the phone and we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's just not working. The problem is the whole valve design that the hose goes on. It's just got two little tiny holes that the water comes through instead of being a nice open pipe. It'd be better if it was just like a hose spigot with a normal on-off valve, but I don't know. It's just a poor engineering design. Anyway, you can see there's really not much coming out. It's just a little trickle because, like I said, there's stepped on something. It's just a tiny little bit of area available for it to come out of. So this is all I get out. That's not enough to force out any of the sediment. Really not cleaning it out much at all. You can see a little bit floating around in there, but you need pressure to get it out. So I'm just going to put everything back to normal here, and I will just have to wait. You can see how water's pooling in the garage here, and what I don't want is for that to reach down to all my new stuff. So, oh well, I tried. I'll just have to wait. Well, it's about 10:30. I'm kind of changing my plans here. I got wrapped up in projects. Did get a lot done this morning, but I didn't get a dawn ride in. And then it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and he said he was going to be here early this morning, so I didn't want to go out for a ride and, not be here when he got here, so I held off. Well, could have gone. Now it's 10:30, and, of course I haven't heard anything yet. But par for the course, terrible communication. So I'm just kind of hanging out waiting for him, and I'll do a ride later this afternoon after it cools off a bit. I am beat today. Oh, I only felt like doing 2 laps. Oh, it's the end of the day. No bathroom guy. Although I can't complain too much, he at least listened to what I said about communication. He texted me about 11 o'clock, said, oh, I got an emergency job. Some guy needed a window put in. It's got broken into over the weekend, and I'll be there by 1. I'm like, okay. So 1 o'clock rolls around, and he calls. He says, oh, it's taking a lot longer than usual. Big shock, right? And I'll be there in the morning, so we'll see. Maybe tomorrow will be the last day. Anyway, I'm starving. It's about 6 o'clock, and I need some dinner. See you guys tomorrow.